So, hello everyone. This is Nigel Sharpe for Country Music News International, and I'm very pleased to say that today I'm talking to Rusty Gear, and he's way over there, somewhere on the eastern seaboard of the USA. Rusty, tell us where you are.
Today I'm in Greenwich, Connecticut. We've got about a foot of snow outside. It snowed a little bit last night, right in the middle of a New England winter.
Yes, I've never experienced a New England winter. I have been there, but I left when in the fall. I was up in Vermont, so that was a very nice part of the world, I must say. Anyway, so how are you keeping, and are you musically busy at the moment?
I have been busy. We released a couple of records earlier, actually late last year and early this year, and been busy promoting them, like our discussion today about what we believe. And I've also been writing some new material, hoping to get back down to Nashville later on in the spring and follow up on what we believe was some additional new Americana originals.
Now, that word Americana, that actually really interests me. How do you define that? What do you see as Americana?
So the good news about Americana is it's a very, very broad category of music, and I've got five records out now, and some of my songs sound like blues, and some of them sound like rock, and some of them sound more like contemporary country, and it turns out that all of those genres of music fit under the broad umbrella of Americana, and what we believe has got a song with a contemporary country sound called "It's Still You." It's being played on country radio stations right now, but it's also got some more traditional, rootsy kind of Americana music, which I'm excited to have out for the first time. So everybody has their own specific definitions of these genres, and but Americana is very broad, thankfully so.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm in the wrong place. I need to be over there. Uh, so, is there a particular meaning behind the title for the EP? What we believe?
Yes. So what we believe is the title song on the EP, and it's a song about how society's relationship with the truth has changed, particularly over the last 5 or so years, and that's something that is very much on people's mind here in the United States. And so I wrote that song to get people to think about that, and because it's a like a statement of commitment, I thought it was an appropriate title for the whole EP, just representing, hey, this is five songs that represent what I believe.
So, when it comes to songwriting for you, is there a particular method that you go about it? I mean, do you come up with an idea in your head and you think, okay, I've got to write a song about that? And does the text come first for you, or the other way around, the music comes first?
It happens in all different ways, but typically I'll start off with a riff I play on the acoustic guitar, and something that sounds interesting to me that I think could be the basis for a song, and then I'll go into the my little studio here on top of the garage and see if some lyrical thought comes to mind. And I'll give you an example of something that could inspire me. I'm working on a song right now called Ashes of Desire, listening to a podcast of T-Bone Burnett, who's a very famous songwriter and producer here in the United States, just a
Yes,
prolific
indeed.
guy.
Yeah.
And in this podcast, he said the best key to to have a blues song is C sharp minor, which, for people who are not musicians, just particular key on the guitar, but minor chords are usually dark and moody. And he mentioned a song by Bill Withers called "Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone," which is a famous hit song. And so I went up into my studio and I put the capo on the guitar and started, messing around with blues chords and C sharp minor. And the outcome was a song called "Ashes of Desire," traditional blues song, which I think is a really nice song. I can't wait to cut it.
Yeah. So, when it comes to actually cutting it, I mean, do you go to Nashville, or are there other locations where you can use a studio?
Well, in the New York area, there's plenty of studios here, but the critical thing for me is I've met two great producers. I started off with Tony Sarno, who's a great blues musician who comes from my hometown. We knew each other as kids. My brother played with him. And I bumped into Tony again about 4 years ago in Nashville. And he is friends with a bunch of guys that used to play with the Muscle Shoals Rhythm Section, some really great sort of semi-retired musicians. And we went down and made my first record at Southern Ground in Nashville, and we had so much fun, and it came out, we thought it came out well, so I just kept going. And subsequently met Brad Hill, who is the producer of What We Believe, and Brad is, worked with Maren Morris and the Brothers Osborne. He's a very well-known producer down there, great guy. And he's just able to put together such great session musicians, and we can really efficiently uh, make a record down there with these guys. And now I know them a little bit, and we're pretty used to working together. So New York's got some great musicians for sure. You can make they've got Electric Ladyland Studios in
Yeah,
Manhattan,
right.
stuff, these famous places. But now that I've got producers that I'm comfortable working with and session musicians that I've done a few records with, it's just much easier, and it's only a 2-hour flight for me.
Okay. And you mentioned there you're going to the studio using session musicians. Do you actually have, though, a live band that with a bunch of guys that you use, or does that change?
No, I've got a band that I've been playing with for years, and they're great. And we play Rusty Gear songs all over, our local neighborhood here. And sometimes we'll go on a little mini tour somewhere else, and they're excellent. But some of them have jobs. They're
Okay.
not full-time musicians, and the one thing that you get with session musicians is tremendous efficiency. They can sit down and look at a chart and get it in 2 takes, where that's not the way it would work with my band. Now with a band, you get some chemistry that you probably don't get with session musicians, but so far it's really been fun, and worked well with the session guys.
And how does it work with the videos? Who does the videos for you?
So videos are an interesting challenge for us, for musicians that are trying to promote on Facebook, Instagram, social platforms. It's all about videos. If you send out audio
Yeah.
only, you don't get any engagement. So we started off with my brother, who is a creative director, spent his life in advertising, incredibly creative guy, and he made some really nice videos for Rusty Gear with stock footage that you get from the agencies that compile it. So the video for the song "Rest in Arizona" was done with stock footage, a lot of black and white World War II footage, which came out great and just made for a really emotional presentation of the song. We've got a video he made for Darty Time, which is hilarious. That's a party song, so it fits well with the mood of the song. I'd really like for the next step to get some live video in the studio, that kind of thing. So maybe with this
Yeah.
next record, we'll do that. But to make a real uh, professionally produced video like the A-list artists, that could cost $500,000, and obviously we don't have that.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, I particularly like the beginning of the video for the song about the USS Arizona with the parades. That looked like the kind of stock footage from way back when. So some of it was color, some of it was black and white. That one I particularly liked. The other one that I really liked was the Tequila song. Tequila won't solve your problems, but it's worth a shot. Um, and I can personally testify that I've been trying this for many years, but I, I
No,
I enjoy a shot of tequila, I can tell you.
yeah, no, so do I. My brother did a really nice job with that, finding the dancing skeletons.
That was great. Yeah, I like
Um,
that. That
no,
was a lot of fun.
so funny story about that song. I actually was going to write a song called "We Don't Need Another Song About Tequila," because there's literally
There,
51
there are
country songs
lots.
about
Yeah.
tequila. And I saw a sign in front of a bar on Cape Cod in Massachusetts, the chalkboard that said tequila won't solve your problems, but it's probably worth a shot. And I said, all right, I can't help it. I got to go with that.
One of my best experiences was going down to Key West, and I had kind of promised myself that I was going to go to Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville cafe and eat a cheeseburger and in Paradise and drink a margarita, and you got this massive kind of plastic cup with enough margarita in it to last you the whole evening, you know.
Right.
But it was the cheeseburger was great. I must say, it was one of the best cheeseburgers I've ever eaten. So hats
Yeah,
off to Jimmy Buffett. That's what I say.
that's right.
Now,
Cheeseburger in paradise.
yeah, great stuff. And again, coming back to the EP, tell us a little about all the songs. Is there any particular theme behind each one? Why did you write them? Why did you choose those for the EP?
So we talked a little bit about what we believe. The song with the most contemporary country sound on it, and the single that we've promoted first, is called "It's Still You," and it's got a very nice country groove to it. And it's a song about people think about their old girlfriends from time to time, or their old boyfriends, and they wonder what they're doing. And I wonder if she ever thinks about me. And that's the basis for the song. And it ends with a chance meeting of the singer and his old girlfriend, and he says, now I need to think of something fast if I want a night of living in the past. And so there's a little hopefulness to it as well.
Yeah.
um, but that song's been well received. It's getting played on the radio some in Europe and Australia. Very happy with that. The next song is called "Forgiveness After All," and again, that one's a little bit of I never wanted to write a "Hey, we're in a pandemic" song, but sort of a tough time for people now, and so that song was intended to have a little bit of an inspiration. And I was inspired. I was watching some TV series, and at the end of it, it's good versus evil struggle, kind of a TV show. And a song came on, an acoustic based song came on, and I listened to it. I go, that's pretty cool. I'd like to write a song that could be used at the end of a TV show that's about the struggle between good versus evil. And so that's where "Forgiveness After All" came. And that's got more of a Americana rootsy vibe to it. It's got dobro in it, a really nice mandolin
Mm.
solo by Tim Galway, and sort of the classic harmonies. The next song is "Home Is Where the Heart Aches," and that's a play on words. Home is where the heart is. In this song, "Home is where the heart aches" when you're living there all alone. And it sounds like a total downer for a title, but if you listen to the song, it's got a really nice bit of guitar work again by Tim Galway, and tremendous bass line and percussion. The bass player on these sessions was Lee Francis, who plays with John Pardee, and as well as pedal steel player Andy Ellison is in John Pardee's band. And very lucky to have Sean Paddock, who is the drummer on Kenny Chesney's road band. So I just got so
Mm.
lucky to get these great musicians, and they totally got into playing this song. And when we got to the end, you listen, there's just a very rockin' jam on this end chorus. And Camille Ray from Calamity Jane, great vocalist, does really nice descant. So I was really happy with the way that song came out. And then the final song is called "West Branch Fog," and that's a little bit more of introspective, moody kind of a song, about love slipping away. And very, very happy with how that came out too. Again, that's more Americana, straight
Okay.
down the middle. Maybe a little Crosby, Stills, and Nash influence you could hear on it, and lots of natural imagery. West Branch Fog is a fog that forms on the West Branch of the Delaware River when the night is warm and the water's cold, and so that's sort of the setting.
Great stuff. Well, I think we're coming to the end of our time here. So I'm going to say thanks very much for your very insightful comments on the material. Um, I hope you've enjoyed linking up with us. country music news over here in Europe. I did find it very interesting that you'd had some good kind of success with some of the material. These sort of European charts. What was it? Hot Disc. You got to number one, I believe that was. How
Yeah,
did that
I've
come?
been
How did that come about with a kind of European connection?
so I've found that in Europe and in Australia, they're a little bit more open in the radio stations to play music from independent artists like myself. In the United States, I've had a couple of songs chart on Music Row, but they really favor for legitimate reasons these A-list acts, and so I'm up there trying to compete with Taylor Swift. I've got no hope. So the European and Australian audiences are a little bit more open to hearing the independent musician, and so I've had four songs or five songs on the Hot Disc Top 40 chart, and three went to number one, including "Won't Forget," which was there for a month, and that song's done well. It's charted at Music Row. It's a duet sung by Grant Vogel and Hannah Bethel, two great vocalists. Song I wrote. So I've it's a good way for me to promote the music to an audience, and I'm hopeful one day that I'll be able to bring my band from the United States over to the UK anyway, and maybe to Europe as well if we can find some audiences and book some shows. I think that'd be great fun.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Would that kind of give rise to the the possibility of coming over? I mean, there's quite a bit of support still for country music, as even though the American forces, went home some time ago. There is a country music scene here. I've played in Switzerland, for instance. That is a really cool place to go, playing country music festivals. So, they are, here in Europe, um, and certainly in Britain. But of course, with the pandemic situation at the moment, there's nothing going on at all. But hopefully, we just keep hoping that this summer will see us freed from lockdown and so on.
Yeah,
Anyways, so I'll
I'm
go.
optimistic. I think things are going to get better.
Yeah, you've got to be optimistic, haven't you? As
Yeah,
otherwise, you might as well just pack it in. Okay,
right.
Rusty, thanks very much indeed. I really enjoyed that interview, and I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. We're going to see you over here very soon. Okay, ladies and
I will too.
gentlemen,
Thank you so much.
thanks very much to Rusty Gear. My name's Nigel Sharpe again for Country Music News International. Can keep following us on Facebook and our website. Thanks very much, and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye bye.